the formidable robot.
The revival of the TV show Rocket Monkeys was something I didn't expect to come out of the year of our Lord 2026. What started as a Twitter account posting out of context scenes from the show led to an ironic fandom of preteens enjoying the series despite its weirdly fetishistic content for a children's show. But what can you expect from a show originating in Canada? As of writing this, the fandom has since died out, but is still remembered for the absurdly passionate fanbase that it had for a month or two. One of the things to come out of this was a user named Rockymonkeys4life. He was one of the few Rocket Monkeys fan accounts that popped up around this time. I found his account while I was doom scrolling on Instagram and saw a reel he made that was just a shitty fan cam of the character Wally, which had the song Baby Boy by me and my playing in the background of it. I decided to check his account out to see what kind of stuff the guy was posting. Unsurprisingly, it was pretty much all Rocket Monkeys related stuff. The only weird thing about the account was the first two posts, which I found after scrolling down for a bit. One was a picture of a farmhouse with who I assumed to be the account's owner in front of it, smiling while he gave a thumbs up. The other was a picture of those sticky hand toys you'd get as a prize from an arcade. The caption said, "Won these at a karaoke contest, gonna have fun with these." The strange thing about these two posts was that they were dated on the same day, July 14, 2023. He only started posting Rocket Monkeys stuff in 2026, which made me think he didn't post anything until Rocket Monkeys got big again. I decided to start following him online since I found the concept of a fan account for a bad children's show really funny. His profile picture was an edited photo of Wally as a caterpillar with a flower crown edited on it. It looked like something pulled out of Tumblr in 2015. His bio read, "Name is Rocky, big fan of Wally from Rocket Monkeys, 17, Canadian." Rocky, as far as I'm aware, was mentally disabled. He never said anything regarding it, but I suspected that he had autism. Considering the fact I could pinpoint certain traits that he had to that of someone who was on the spectrum. Because of this, I felt a little worried about him sometimes, since I know how the internet treats people like Rocky. But I was sure he'd be able to handle any kind of hate he had thrown towards him. I was able to become mutuals with him after about 3 days. He was actually really nice when we first started talking. He talked about, unsurprisingly, Rocket Monkeys. He would talk about how much he loved the show and how funny the characters were. Something I remember him mentioning was how he went to a fancy dress party with his younger brother and father while dressed as the three main characters. His dad was Aoki, his brother was Gus, and he was Wally. He said he remembered getting second place and winning a plush banana toy that he later gave to his brother. It was kind of wholesome hearing about this guy and his family. It was like I knew him personally. A couple days of knowing Rocky and looking at his posts go by, I started learning more about his personal life. I learned that his mother apparently left when he was 7 years old and he was homeschooled. He would sometimes vent to me about his personal life and how his father was too busy with stuff to play with him, yet he always had time for his younger brother. This felt strange hearing about all of this, since I never really saw this vulnerable side of him. But I knew he probably trusted me enough to say all of this. One day, he just stops posting and talking to me. It felt really weird not seeing him in my DMs daily. I tried texting him for about a week to see if he was okay, nothing. A week goes past and he slips my mind. I was just tired of constantly checking my DMs to see if he would come back. Out of nowhere about 2 weeks later, he started posting really cryptic shit on his close friends only story. It was all just a black screen with noises from the outside, stuff like cars passing by and wind blowing. The only weird thing he posted on his story outside of that was an image of Aoki with no head. It wasn't like it was edited to have crappy blood effects on it or anything like that. It was literally just the character with their head presumably removed with a lasso tool. There was no music, no background sounds, nothing. It was just that picture. It was honestly a bit unnerving to see, considering how long it had been since I last saw him post. I mean, think about it for a second. Imagine a friend of yours going offline for a few weeks and starts posting weird shit on their account. I feel like any reasonable person would probably start checking on them. I decide to DM him asking if he was alright, since I saw his stories and thought something really bad happened while he was gone. He only responded with one word. Dad. I started to panic a bit. What did he mean? Did his dad die? Did he do something really bad to him? I wasn't sure. I decided to check his account again to see if anything else was off. There was only one new post on his account. It was honestly really weird. It was a picture of the three main characters with their faces replaced with what looked like real people, but slightly pixelated or blurred. Gus's face was replaced with what looked like a young boy smiling. Wally's face was honestly unrecognizable. I couldn't make out any facial features at all. It was just completely blurred. The strangest one was Yaoke, whose face was replaced with that of a middle-aged man. Not even a few seconds after seeing the picture, I received a message from Rocky. It was a large wall of text that explained where he was and what happened. This was the text. I was gone for a while because my dad did something yucky to my brother. What happened was my little brother ran to me and said that dad was being weird and started closely tickling him. He started sobbing when he started talking about what happened in more detail as I cried with him. I had enough and walked up to my dad to confront him on what he did. He kept saying stuff like he was just being dramatic and that ungrateful brat just wanted attention. I ended up shoving him while I yelled at him in a fit of rage. He ended up hitting his head on the kitchen counter corner and passed out. I ran out the kitchen screaming while I shouted at my brother to call for help. The police then came and started interrogating us about what happened. I had to lie about what happened, and they ended up concluding that he must have slipped and hit his head on the corner of the counter by mistake. I can't let them know what actually happened. I don't want to go to jail for trying to protect my brother from that monster. Holy shit. I started panicking and kept trying to reason to myself on what I just read. I wanted to ask a bunch of questions to Rocky about what happened to try and get to the bottom of it. But he ended up deleting not only the wall of text he just sent me, as well as the cryptic images on his story and the one creepy image on his page. I was obviously really confused on what just happened and why he eminently deleted the thing he just sent me. So I asked if he is still doing okay and if he wanted to talk. I have transcribed the following conversation. Me, Rocky, please tell me what's going on. Is everything alright? Rocky, I'm sorry. Me, are you feeling alright? Do you want me to call anyone? Rocky, don't fucking call anybody, okay? Me, geez man, I'm sorry. I just want to know if you're okay. Rocky, of course I'm not okay. I just killed my dad. I killed him. I killed the person who raised me for 17 years. Me, no words, only 3 dots. Rocky, do you not know what it's like to kill someone that you've lived with for all your life? Be thankful with who you have as a parent. Be thankful they haven't been doing subhuman shit to your own brother for their entire life since they were 3 years fucking old. Me, Rocky, I need you to try and calm down and talk to me. I know what you're going through is really distressing, but I want you to try and tell me what you want me to do so I can help. Rocky, no words, only 3 dots. Me, Rocky. Rocky, I just killed my dad. I have no words at all. I have something that you might want to see though. Rocky then proceeded to link me to a news report. The report was on the death of his father. It read the following. Police were called to the house of Farley Andrews later today on February 26th. His youngest son, Angelo Andrews, called the police after his older brother, Wesley Andrews, found their father on the floor bleeding out in the kitchen. No foul play has been suspected at this time. Farley Andrews was described as a charismatic and thoughtful man by his colleagues at his job as a technician. He will be missed by his 2 sons and friends. The first thing I noticed about the news report was how weirdly it was written. The punctuation was odd, and they had a strange focus on the 2 sons, who I assumed were Rocky and his brother. Secondly, I decided to look up Farley Andrews online to see if there was any other news coverage about him to no result. Third of all, the name of the news site, Canadian Hourly, wasn't even a real news station. This was when I checked the link that he had sent me. I honestly should have put it through an IP logger before, but it was too late now. I still decided to put it through a URL checker to see if my suspicions were correct. My suspicions were in fact correct. Rocky had logged my IP address. I was frustrated and horrified. Why the hell would he do this? I was just trying to help the guy calm down from having a nervous breakdown. I was about to lash out at Rocky for sending me an IP grabber, but before I could do anything, he blocked me. This left me even more frustrated than before. I had no other alternative accounts to contact him on, and it was probably for the best since I would probably make him even more upset. So I left the situation alone for a while. Fast forward to yesterday, it had been 3 months since what happened with Rocky. I had almost forgotten about the entire situation, up until my mom came to my room to tell me I got a package from somebody. My birthday was a week away, so I assumed it was probably a present from my uncle and aunt who lived a few states away from me. She handed over the package and left my room. I took a closer look at it. It was just a shoebox with my address written on top of it on paper in handwriting I didn't recognize. It clearly wasn't my aunt or uncle's, nor was it any of my friends. I opened the package and my heart sank. Inside was a note that read, "I am sorry for making you click that link, but I can't have you telling anybody about what actually happened. But I trust you enough to not say a word, because you are my only friend. But just remember what will happen if you try and tell people anyway." The other item, or rather items in the box, were the ripped remains of the plush banana toy that he had won at the costume contest.